Hey Life Central Youth, my name is Laura, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm just going to be sharing some thoughts with you today. I recently have been starting to watch all the Avengers films through. I've never seen them. Andy really doesn't like them, so I've been watching them on my own on Disney, which is great. And as I've been watching them, you just get this sense that you want to change the world, that you want to be a part of a team, part of a family, part of a body of people that makes a difference in the world, that wants to leave this world different to how you came into it. I don't know whether you've ever felt like that, whether you look around at the world and you just think, man, there's so many things that should be better. I want to be a part of making a difference, whether that be the environment, poverty, whether it be inequality, racism. You look around and say, I want to be a part of the solution. And you know, the Bible says stuff about that. The Bible says that we have a purpose of being in this world to make it the kind of world that God called it to be. And in 2 Timothy 1 verses 6 and 7, it says this: "This is why I remind you to fan into flames the spiritual gift of God that God gave you when I laid my hands on you. For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love." Now I read that and I think, yeah, this is incredible. God has given me gifts. He's given me a spirit of power and of love. But then there is one more word on the end of that is so important. A word that talks about this idea of not having a spirit of fear and timidity. You need power, you need love, but it also says that you need self-discipline. And I don't like that quite as much. I'm tempted to leave that off. You know, this weekend I finished reading a book, and that's not unusual. I read a fair bit, I love reading. But I'm going to tell you a secret. I don't like reading books about the spiritual disciplines, about self-discipline, about like self-control. In fact, I have tried to read 2 books on on the spiritual discipline, and I'm so undisciplined that I've given up on both of them. I didn't even have the self-discipline and the spiritual discipline to finish a book on spiritual disciplines. But this weekend I've had, I'm going to have a third go, and I finished one. And reading it, I felt really challenged. You see, I began to realise something as I read that book. I began to realise that I can't be a part of the solution to what's going on in this world if I'm still a part of the problem. And actually, self-discipline is the answer to that. Let me explain what I mean. Say you're really annoyed about consumerism and poverty and how the rich get richer and the poor remain poor. Then you need to stop buying as much stuff. You need to have the self-discipline to say, do you know what? I'm not going to order another package off of Amazon. I'm not going to buy that thing that I don't need. If you're angry about the environment and how we're destroying our planet, then stop buying so many clothes that are going to land up in landfill, that are going to be a part of the problem. Stop eating as much beef, because that is a huge contributor to climate change. Maybe you're frustrated at how broken relationships are and hurt people are hurt, and you then need to be somebody who doesn't get angry, somebody who listens more than they speak. You see, you can't be a part of the solution while you're still a part of the problem. And actually, this comes down to individuals living differently. That comes down to you having self-discipline. Discipline to say no. Discipline to say, this is enough. I will not buy any more things. I will not eat that thing that is contributing to that thing that makes me angry. I will not say that thing that's about to come out of my mouth because I know it's hurtful. I will not hold that thing against that person. Self-discipline, controlling yourself, means that you can be a part of the solution. You know, God is looking around this world for people who he can put into positions of leadership, into positions of influence that can make a real difference to this world. But your character has to be able to carry your calling. And honestly, it's self-discipline that will enable you to do this. And yes, Jesus will help you transform your heart. He will give you strength to have self-discipline, but it's not Jesus' fault. I order too much stuff on Amazon. And so today, what will you do? What will you do today to be a part of the solution instead of a part of the problem? Will you listen more than you speak today? Will you say no to buying more things that you don't need today? Will you take the first step to reconcile a relationship today? You have been given a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline. So let's be a part of a body that sees this world change and transform.